Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, recycling trade publications. Patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Chris Vermeulen from the TechnicalTraders.com. Welcome back to the show, Chris.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
Chris, some interesting moves in the market we talked about just before going on air. Gold was doing very well, then had a pullback. What's the story with gold?
Yeah, the whole precious metal complex it's really interesting because it's been a feeding frenzy, especially for the last week, as prices have been popping and people talking about the breakout of the previous highs over that 1380 area, and everyone is going ballistic. Everyone's talking about gold and silver and miners, mostly gold and miners. And everybody thinks this is it. This is the breakout. It's not looking back. It's going to be, $1,500, $1,800, $2,000 gold in a heartbeat. And, I'm singing the exact opposite tune. I've got a pretty good indicator here, which is simply listening to all the emails I get, reading all the emails and reading panic in the market. And everyone, it's like a feeding frenzy for gold right now. Everyone has been piling into gold. I talked about it, hit this really serious resistance level, more or less at the 1425 area, and I think we're set for a pullback, and we've seen that resistance hold. And money is already it's already getting really smart, meaning we really haven't fully broken out yet, but smart money is already rotating into the lagging precious metals. So while everyone's talking and flooding into gold and gold miners, we're starting to see those pull back a little bit today, and we're seeing the smart money rotate into the underperformers, silver and platinum. And I find it amazing how quickly gold in the metals market was out of favor, and then like blink of an eye, 1 month later, everybody owns it, everybody's already got it, everybody's saying it's going to the moon and back, and now we're seeing money already start to rotate into the underperforming. So I think it's going to be really interesting going forward to see if this breakout holds. I think we're going to see it actually pull back a lot more than people think, just because everybody's already in it, everybody's already piled in, and they're all excited. So usually the market moves against the herd mentality.
Well, we kept waiting for silver to make a move. Wasn't it unusual for silver to just sit there languishing while gold was taking off?
Not so much. I mean, silver's not like really the hardcore safe haven like gold is. I mean, we see talks of, tankers and bombs and gold pops, and silver kind of lingers around. And the days when there's fear in the stock market, big selling, we see gold move up. We see the large cap gold miners move up. Those two, gold and large cap gold stocks, to me are kind of the true safe haven. When global money is scared, they move into those. The junior miners during some of those big news days did underperformed gold in the large caps. Silver's underperformed. I just find silver is it's that value buy. Right now, gold is overbought. It's at resistance. Silver hasn't had the run. It's yet. It's got a beautiful bullish formation on the daily chart. It's been consolidating. It's ready to pop and run. So money's just kind of moving out of those bigger safe havens and looking for a fresh opportunity for the next move in metals, which it looks like silver's ready to have a pop, while gold might even trade sideways or lower over the next week.
Mm-hmm. Now, in British Columbia, they approved a new gold-silver mine in the Vanderhoof area. Is that good news for people in the gold and silver business?
I'm not sure. I don't follow that. I mean, if they're approving new mines, I don't know. It's really tough to say. Everyone looks at everything in a totally different light, so I can't really give any insight on that.
Well, one of the things they talked about with silver is no new mines were coming online, and it's being consumed as an industrial metal. And for that reason, people thought the prices might be going up a lot faster than they have been. The solar business also using a lot of silver. Is it surprising that silver hasn't gone up as much?
I think it is surprising. And yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize how industrial it is. Like, you look at, palladium. I mean, it's really taken off. I think silver is kind of going to be like the next palladium, but it's sleeping. It's dormant. It hasn't got hit by the masses. I mean, there's a pool of fish out there that think, it's totally manipulated, and I mean, everything in the financial markets is manipulated. But I think silver, I did an article on it a few months ago talking about how I think it is the best precious metal to own going forward. It doesn't mean it's going to move the fastest or the quickest right out of the gate, but I really like the way silver is. I like the uses. The price of it is phenomenal compared to the other assets. I mean, the gold-silver ratio is screaming. Money should be in silver right now, not gold. And so, yeah, I love silver. I think it's a great metal, and I think it's got huge potential, but it's a little bit of a laggard. And until the rest of the world really start to see it not only as a safe haven, but as an industrial metal where demand is climbing, until that happens, it's going to continue to kind of flounder under the radar.
We'll have more with Chris Vermeulen right after this.
Grand Portage Resources' Herbert Gold Project in southeast Alaska highlights increased gold resource, indicated and inferred, of 860,000 ounces, in excess of 10 grams per ton gold. Expansion drilling is planned on the Herbert Gold property for the summer of 2019. Grand Portage Resources trading symbols are GPG on the TSX Venture, GPTRF on the OTCQB, and GPB on Frankfurt. For more information, please visit our website, grandportage.com.
Cypress Development Corp. is developing a world-class lithium resource in the heart of Clayton Valley, Nevada. The size of the resource makes the Clayton Valley project a premier asset with the potential to impact the future of lithium supply. Cypress Development Corp. trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol CYP, the OTCQB, symbol CYDVF, and on Frankfurt, symbol C1Z1. For more information, please visit our website, cypressdevelopmentcorp.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Chris Vermeulen. Chris, the S&P continues to set new highs. Will the Dow crack its high?
Well, yeah, money continues to flow into the equities market, and the big question, will the Dow pop and rally? I mean, we are back into an uptrend with the equities markets. We are flirting with resistance, and I do feel as though the equities market at this point is still going to poke and push to some new highs. The Dow, I think, will do the same. The stock market always has a way of making these nominal new highs, meaning it might only break it by a few points, but that's the way the markets tend to go. They like to just pierce a previous high. They get all kinds of market exposure, and then you see the market roll over and go against the herd. I think looking forward from a few weeks from now, a couple weeks, I think we'll see the Dow poke to new highs. It's having a little bit of a pullback over the last couple of days. Maybe it's going to have a few more days of a pullback, but I think this short-term dip can still be bought at this point, and we should see some new highs.
What is behind this drive? Is it because they expect interest rates to fall?
It definitely could be part of the move. I mean, I don't really follow the news or what's going on out there with the general public. I 100% follow price, and it doesn't matter really what's moving. I mean, I follow momentum. I follow the trend. Obviously, the markets typically move before the news, and we usually see the stock market. This could be an interest rate going flat and starting to fall. This could be that stock rally where people saying, okay, it's going to become more favorable for stocks. Usually that happens before the news, so this could be it. But in general, the stock market, it tops out and starts to sell off. It starts its bear market before the bad news is even close, 6-8 months away from really hitting the market. So the stock market, you never know really what it's doing. It's definitely factoring things into the future, and it could be the rates, but I still think the trend is to the upside. These dips continue to get bought like a feeding frenzy at this point, and if rates start to drop, it's definitely going to, I think, put a final push higher here in the equities market.
Is there any expectation that the G20 meetings in Japan will bring anything?
I'm not sure. I don't follow those meetings, but I'm sure it'll definitely create some intraday volatility and some movements in the market as they kind of leak out the conversations going on. But I could really care less about what those meetings do.
Bitcoin mania, is it back?
Oh man, it is on fire. It is going completely ballistic. And I mean, the train has left the station and it's going more or less parabolic straight up. It's everyone piling in right now is taking a really big risk. I mean, it's got to be 100% play money. And the problem with getting into a trade like Bitcoin right now is typically what goes straight up, especially thousands of dollars a day or 10 or 20% a day. Usually these parabolic spikes, these rallies, fizzle out very quickly and can come straight back down. So looking at Bitcoin, I mean, the train has left the station. It's ripping to the upside. Who knows where the next top will be, but in terms of trading or investing in it, it is a real crapshoot at this point. You're just jumping on a rocket and you don't know when the fuel's going to run out, and when it does, you're going to see a big red bar as it's screaming back down and could drop thousands in a day. So, you know, you got to be careful trading something like that. But I mean, if you own Bitcoin, the frenzy is out there. Everyone's just piling back in again. And I've yet to hear the radio ads and the commercial ads to go out and buy it. But I'm pretty sure after today, I have a feeling those ads who ran them before are going to start running again. And that probably be the sign we're getting close to another top.
Well, yes, those ads saying get rid of your old-fashioned dinosaur gold and get into light, bright Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, of course, with gold, even if the price goes down, you have something. What about Bitcoin? Is it in danger of, like so many other cryptocurrencies, of just blinking out of existence?
I don't know about that, but I mean, it's not really. I've tinkered with Bitcoin. I own some Bitcoin. I mean, it is such a clunky way to trade or to own a currency. I mean, it's so scary. You miss one number on a long code, or you lose your login or your info. I mean, huge money can just vanish and vaporize. It's still really sketchy. I mean, I'm not a crypto guy whatsoever, which is why I find it very nerve-wracking to want to put any real significant money into it, because I just feel like you forget your password or a code number and you're toast. So, I mean, it's gold metals. I mean, you've got a bar, you got rounds in your hand, you can go to a place, you can trade them, you can sell them. This is still just a digital, you know, it's just a digital currency. It's just a video game currency, more or less. That has no value behind it, and it's just driven strictly by more or less people getting excited about it and people getting worried about it, selling it off again. It's a pure emotional currency. Obviously, it's probably used a lot in the black market, but yeah, it's like a video game currency. That's the way I see it.
Greed and panic, the drivers.
Yeah.
We'll have more with Chris Vermeulen right after this.
Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp., RMO, on the TSX Venture Exchange. Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp. is a Canadian-based mineral exploration project generator. The company currently holds multiple property interests in Ontario with joint venture partners and is seeking further joint venture partners for other drill-ready properties in our portfolio. For more information, please visit our website at rmroyalty.com or call me at 604-922-2030.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Chris Vermeulen. Chris, what's happening with energy?
Well, the energy sector, it's looking, I mean, crude oil's had a really nice bottom. It's had a nice rally. It more or less went from a double bottom that we were talking about a week and a half ago forming, and it's already come all the way up. It's hit our target we had a target at 57, then we had a target at 60. Both of those targets have been hit, and crude right now is trading at resistance. It's at the 200-day, the 50-day moving averages. it's had a nice run. We might end up seeing it squeeze a little higher, get up to around 62. But overall, crude I think most of that upside move is done for a little bit. But if we flip and go and look at natural gas is kind of the opposite. It's been selling off. It looks like it's put in a bottom over the last couple trading sessions here. It's actually holding up really well. It looks like it wants to go higher to the 240, 255 area. So I like natural gas at this point because I think it's ready to launch and have a fairly significant move from where we are right now.
Mm-hmm. Now, again, is that a cycle that we go through or something else?
Well, I always use cycles on my analysis. We have had a cycle low about 4 days ago. We've got potential for another about 5 to 7 days to the upside here, which, I mean, when I'm looking at natural gas, when I say 240, 255, I'm kind of hoping it's going to hit that level really in the next 4 or 5 days. A very short-term type of oversold bounce play. But overall, yeah, it's got some cycle lows. I mean, natural gas is still in a downtrend. This is nothing more than a reaction high, meaning it's got oversold, and now it's just having that kind of, everyone's kind of covering their shorts. They're buying a bit back for a bounce. This is, at this point, is still just a consolidation and a bounce before it potentially goes even lower. I got a downside potential target that it could still drop all the way to $2. So this is a bounce, short term, that's it, and then we regroup, reanalyze, and see whether we short it, or if it's going to form a bottoming formation where we can actually re-enter, get long, and then potentially ride something much larger back up into the 270, 280 range. Any
thoughts on the U.S. dollar?
Well, the dollar, obviously it's had a pretty decent pullback. It's actually had, as of 2 days ago, it had a perfect retracement, a nice ABC pattern, meaning it pulled back, it had a bounce, and then it sold off even more to break the previous low. And that's what gives you that ABC correction. And when it breaks the previous low, it usually triggers heavy volume. People who put their stop losses in place there, they get shaken out. Their positions get closed. That's exactly what we saw in the last 3 trading sessions. Big volume. People got stopped out of the dollar. And it had a perfect 100% Fibonacci measured pullback, meaning based on its momentum and the size of the pattern, it reached that target, and we're seeing a bounce. Yesterday it had a bounce. Today it's trading slightly positive again. And I think the dollar could continue to bounce here. I don't know how big of a bounce it's going to be. Much like natural gas, I think we've got a 4 or 5 day window for it to kind of bounce and move higher. If that happens, we're going to see gold and miners continue to pull back and put in more of a significant top. So, I mean, very short-term plays the market right now because everything is flirting with support or resistance. And everything right now is going to have a short-term bounce off support, and the things at resistance are going to hit their heads and bounce down a little bit. The big question is, does everything start to break out? Do we see things hitting resistance, bully higher and break out and rally? Or do we see these things break down and correct deeper? And that's why I'm only focusing on short-term moves here, because if we start to get breakouts, then we're going to have to change some longer-term positions because precious metals are on the verge of a huge rally, but they need to confirm the breakout before we get long. So, and it's the same with energies. Natural gas is still in a downtrend, but it's oversold and ready to bounce.
Chris, have a great Canada Day.
Hey, thanks, Jim. Take care. Appreciate it.
My guest has been Chris Vermeulen from thetechnicaltraders.com. If you have any questions for Chris or any of our other guests, you can send them to info@housestreet.com. Find us on Twitter @HouseStreet, our YouTube channel, Talk Digital Network. I'm Jim Goddard. Thanks for listening.
Comments made on HouseStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HouseStreet.com radio is a production of House Street Media Incorporated.